adventure into Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 6 months after the events of Jurassic World in 2015, where they yet again did not learn their lessons from the first movie. A small mercenary team is sent to the island, Isla Nublar, as you can remember, where the very first movie and the movie before this one took place, to collect DNA from the Indominus Rex. Oh, but wait, that creature died in the previous movie. Exactly, so unless it's zombified, its remains should still be at the bottom of that lagoon. They send some people to collect bone samples from the Indominus Rex, or rather the skeleton. But oh boy, I guess they forgot or nobody took the time to inform them that there's a big ass water dinosaur still in that lagoon. I guess they figured it'd be dead. Sure, you can explain away why and how it's still alive. Probably like crocodiles, it can slow down its body and go long periods without food. Well, as you can guess, anytime adults in these movies interact with dinosaurs, the dinosaurs either end up getting loose or killing a whole bunch of people, except for children, the easiest types of people to kill. Part of the team are on land and they open up the gate to the lagoon when they lose contact with the submarine pilots. After hearing a Dilophosaurus running away from something, that's when the T-Rex starts giving chase. One of the guys still on the ground fighting for his life is given a rope ladder. He narrowly escapes.
Dummy, yeah.
And now that water dinosaur is now escaping into the ocean, which explains why 6 months later in the show Camp Cretaceous, it makes an appearance. 3 years later, and everybody's in an uproar and debating whether or not the dinosaurs on Isla Nublar have rights. As you can see, a much older Ian Malcolm makes a reappearance, and good grief, when you've watched the other movies and then see him here, it's odd. Dude has turkey neck now. Dude went from sexiest man alive to needing to pee every half hour. Man, age is one of those things. You don't see it until you turn your head away for a few years. See, the problem is in this movie is that there's a volcano about to blow up on Isla Nublar and toast all the dinosaurs. Some people argue that it's nature just doing its job and correcting what John Hammond did. Others say that the dinosaurs didn't ask to be born and they shouldn't be taken away. I mean, they're a little bit more important being as they're so rare. It's not like they're Decepticons or some weird alien creature, but apparently in this world, they are, since every kind of weapon imaginable doesn't work on them when they're fired by adults. And the only weakness that the children of the franchise have are guns. Because apparently, even if it means saving other people's lives, somehow they're unable to pick them up. Kids in the franchise can't pick up weapons any more than a vampire can walk into your house without being invited. Anyway, remember the park manager from the first movie who apparently can run on heels away from an animal that even in its old age should be able to go up to 20 miles per hour? Claire Daring. Yes, her, the woman with stone cold ankles, who can outrun a T-Rex.
Well, we clocked the T-Rex to 32 miles an hour. 32 miles an hour.
Yeah, the same T-Rex that was keeping up with a car. Well, yes, after getting a second boning from Owen Grady, aka Star-Lord, the healthy dose of man milk she received has caused her to fall in love with animals as much as he is. She establishes the Dinosaur Protection Group to save the dinosaurs, which is a massive 180 of her character. Unfortunately for the dinosaurs, the Senate rules against rescuing them. Hammond's former partner, Benjamin Lockwood, invites Claire to his Northern California estate called Lockwood Manor. Miss John Hammond, the bringer of chaos in a cute, innocent-looking package. Rest in peace, Jurassic Colonel Sanders. Anyway, Lockwood's aide, Eli Mills, takes over from Lockwood, who is old and ailing. Easter egg, mosquito, and amber. After Lockwood makes it clear what his intentions are, to save the dinosaurs. Eli fills her in on the fact that they're going to bring them to a new island sanctuary. Why did they invite her over? Because she's the main character, and because apparently she's needed to reactivate the park's dinosaur tracking system to locate the animals, especially the last remaining Velociraptor, Blue. Can't forget about her. She made a very long-lasting effect on people in the last movie. Claire then calls on Star-Lord, Owen Grady, because he's the main character. And because he raised Blue from since she was a baby. And because he was the raptor trainer of Jurassic World, who knows the raptors more than anybody else, and who the raptors see as their alpha. 2 other people joined the good guy group. Former technician Franklin Webb, who was there to reactivate the online tracking system, and paleo-veterinarian Zia Rodriguez. Of course, there has to be a child in the franchise named Maisie, just because. Lockwood's granddaughter. Anyway, along with Owen, Claire, and the others are a mercenary group led by this douchebag called Ken Wheatley, and they are responsible for tracking down and finding the Velociraptor. It doesn't take long before Owen locates Blue and tries to win back her trust. hate that stupid racking sound. And they all make exactly the same noise and they're not all the same firearm. Like, it's just weird. Again, we got stupid people making stupid decisions, and Blue gets spooked, probably also trying to protect Owen and herself. Trust me, she still cares about him, because if she didn't, he would have been dead already. As you all know, somebody shoots a velociraptor, and I am actually surprised. This is the first time in this franchise people have shot with a gun at a dinosaur and it hit them and hurt them. See? Bullets don't work with dinosaurs. But in this case, it does. Because we need the audience to cry.
No, don't shoot her!
This was honestly more shocking to me than anything else that happened in this movie. Things escalate as Wheatley tranquilizes Owen, forces Zia to come with them to heal the raptor. The volcano starts to erupt. Justice and Claire have to escape out of there. Mills orders those people to bring the dinosaurs back to the manor. Owen is still paralyzed by the tranquilizer, but this lovely sweetheart wakes him up. He becomes Indiana Jones and somehow escapes death in every way imaginable. Justice and Claire escape from a baryonyx. And as Owen meets up with them, they and all the dinosaurs on the island are running for their lives. Somehow in the midst of all of this, a Carnotaurus doesn't fear the volcano and decides that this is the best time to eat.
I'm very hungry.
Somehow the franchise with the most realistic looking dinosaurs manages to make the dinosaur behaviors the most unrealistic. For some strange reason, the T-Rex is always saving people. Because she kills this thing, and when the volcano sounds off, she remembers that she's in danger. Oh yeah! Time to go! Owen gets enveloped by a pyroclastic flow that should have burned all his skin off. Somehow they all make it out of this alive. As they take all the dinosaurs, getting ready to take them back to mainland, a lot of the scenes replay just like, oh yeah, the second Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Some reason this guy likes collecting the dinosaurs' teeth. Claire, Justice, and Owen make it onto the barge. Just, yeah, because. A sad moment is played out as the Brachiosaurus from the first movie is enveloped by the lava and dies. Surely not every single dinosaur in Isla Nublar is dead, but they really want to make you think that. Maisie tries to warn her grandfather back at the manor that something is up, and that man Eli that's working for him is up to no good. Zia then explains that to save Blue, she needs blood, and she should get blood from a creature whose blood is similar enough to Blue's. Then she says the fingers have to be no more than 3, so they have to be 2 or 3. Fingers! At first I thought this was utter bullshit. Since dinosaurs are closely related to birds, and they probably engineered the dinosaurs in such a way that if something happens and they need blood, they can just take it from another animal. They made their blood similar enough, but still, the T-Rex? Technically, isn't the Gallimimus more closely related to the Velociraptor than the T-Rex? Aren't they of the same clade? And with all the galleys that were running around, I'm pretty sure they have a Gallimimus on board of that boat. But chances are they had to make it the T-Rex because everyone wants to see them take blood from a sleeping T-Rex. They get the blood after narrowly escaping her jaws. Justice, who plays Franklin, blends in. Because remember, nobody knows that Owen, Claire, and Franklin, the good guys, are actually on the boat. They make it to mainland. You mean to tell me this whole operation is going on, and this dude, the old man, had no idea? After Grandpa here takes Maisie's warnings to heart, he does the stupidest thing possible, which all of the Ned Starkian people do who are good guys in these franchises. He confronts and then threatens the bad guy who has an advantage over him.
In my own house.
You entrusted me to guide your fortune into the future. I have done that.
Damn you!
So yeah, he's mad. And you know what he does next? This old ass man that can't do anything for himself? He tells Mills, I want you to pick up that phone and call the police. You know, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but this man has been alive long enough. Does he not know how humans work? Especially how cutthroat some people are in business? Yeah, you saying that person's definitely gonna go pick up the phone because you told him to and call the cops on himself. Well, spoilers, that doesn't happen.
Only guilty one here, am I, sir?
Woo! You know you did.
Claire and Owen are eventually caught. Mills confronts them, but keeps them alive for some reason. Maisie had been locked in her room, but sneaks in to find her grandpa's dead. She goes through the dumbwaiter.
Iris!
It's over.
Maisie knows that Mills is the one who killed her grandfather. As Maisie is sitting in the dumbwaiter, hearing the conversation of Mills trying to let go her nanny, this pruny woman here, Maisie takes out the photo from the book that used to belong to her grandfather. She sees what looks like a younger version of the nanny and her, a picture she knows she never took. Turns out, Maisie is a clone, just like the dinosaurs. Maisie is actually a clone of the old man Lockwood's daughter, named Maisie Lockwood, who died in a car accident in the 90s. Through his grief, he attempted to bring his daughter back. And though it would not bring back the original daughter, Maisie is still his daughter, minus all the memories. To make matters more interesting, John Hammond and Benjamin Lockwood actually parted ways because John Hammond did not approve of Benjamin Lockwood cloning humans. And when Maisie was born, Hammond was like, you know what? This is too far. I might have done it in the future, but you did it first, so I'm the more self-righteous one. After Eli gets rid of Iris, he goes to the dumbwaiter, hearing squeaking noises inside of it, but when he opens it, Maisie's not there. Owen and Claire figure a way out. Meanwhile, there's an auction going on with some super rich people from all over the world here to buy the dinosaurs. It is a spectacle. Owen tricks the Pachycephalosaurus in the next room to break out, and because of how aggressive that thing is, wanting to fight, apparently this little last dinosaur can break out just fine, but the T-Rex ramming the gate can't. I tell you, the marvels in this movie. Claire and Owen meet Maisie for the first time, and she trusts them. Of course, she ran straight to Chris Pratt first. I don't blame you, girl. I would too. While all this is happening, the hybrid that was made from the Indominus Rex's remains is finally here. The Indoraptor. Or as I call him, Ripper. He's supposed to be really intelligent and all of this and ja. They basically train him to follow where the laser is. Don't cats already do that naturally without you having to train them to do it? This supposedly could tell the dinosaur what he's supposed to do, and it's so stupid. The same events from the Lost World occur. Owen fights a whole bunch of people, and pandemonium happens as a dinosaur is broken loose. People start flying, and the auction is over. Everyone is out of there. Ken Wheatley sees the Indoraptor. He tranquilizes him, because all he wants is special teeth, but it's hard to break this thing's teeth off. The Indoraptor is also toying with him like Wile E. the Coyote. Revealing that it's in fact awake, it bites the hunter's arm off, swallows it, and kills him. And everybody else in the room that's left there except for the main characters.
Made her again.
Once again, everybody's rushing to move the embryos out of the area. Like, this is just the same story told like 16 different ways over and over again. Dr. Wu oversees this, always in that freaking turtleneck.
I need this raptor's blood.
Zia tries telling Dr. Wu that Blue's blood is contaminated. Instead of asking why she thinks so, he replies saying that the raptor's blood is pure. Yeah, and apparently so is your stupidity. Right as Zia tells him after he goes on with his intelligence spiel, she says, yeah, well, it has T-Rex blood in it, so. As Dr. Wu is in shock, Franklin comes up behind him and injects something into his neck. They are stopped by a mercenary, but they release Blue from her cage. Oh no, that poor Calvin Klein guy. Blue does not play nice with others. After all the pandemonium in the lab, and the two other side characters are able to escape, the bullet hits one of the oxygen tanks. Blue somehow knows that means it's going to explode, and she jumps out of there in the nick of time. She is so energetic for a dinosaur who recently just got shot. Now that the Indoraptor is loose, after that stupid hunter had gone in the cage, thinking he tranquilized it, the movie continues with a cat and mouse stalking game, where the main characters and the dinosaur replay several scenes from the first movie. Ripper is super intelligent and supposedly has echolocation, yet never really uses it. Maisie is separated from the group and chased down by the dinosaur. It climbs out the window and on the roof, and while stalking her, it makes a loud noise so she knows where it is. Call back to the first movie, being able to open locks.
You look good, girl. Let me touch you.
Why is it taking so long to attack her? Maybe it's just intrigued, you would say. But no, there's a very simple explanation for this. She's a child. Dinosaurs are not allowed to kill children in this franchise, no matter how hard they try. And it must be frustrating to them not understanding why they're unable to kill this child. It's kind of like in those dreams where you're running, but you feel like you're running in water and you can't move. No matter how much you exert yourself, your legs are like lead. Or when you're tickling one of your little siblings because you just want them to suffer. No matter how much you try to grab them and tickle them, they just keep slipping out of your hand like fish. Owen shoots Ripper, but they made this thing bulletproof. Instead of Owen running out the door when he has the chance, being like an ex-Navy SEAL and all of that, he just stands there with his mouth agape when he has enough time to run. If anything, to distract this thing and to get it to chase him away from Maisie. But does he do that? Of course not. He just stands there in anticipation, waiting for the riders to enter Blue into the scene. Right as it slowly is about to attack, Blue comes and fights it. Owen and Maisie escape out the window. Ripper goes after them. Oh, but remember, the sonic gun laser thing is designed so this dinosaur will do what Claire says. Owen is like, come at me, bro. She clicks the button, telling it to attack, and without thinking, it does. And it falls straight through the glass. But fail. It climbs back up. Don't know why they're showing this ahead of time, which is one of the worst things that you could do. A lot of modern movies do that these days, and it's so annoying. You're basically telling the audience ahead of time that, hey, it's gonna fall on this big spiky thing any minute now. What you should have done is later when you're about to do that, you do it in slow motion and then you show the spiky thing below, like normal people do. Blue comes out to save Owen, and as she crashes into Ripper, they both fall in slow motion, which is the way you should have done it from the beginning without showing us that horn below, and she happens to be right side up as he gets impaled by the horns. She then does this horrible thing with the CGI. I don't know what's going on here with the CGI, but it was just weird. Very herky-jerky and arcadey, like you just defeated a level and your character is cheering. I'm sorry, but that was horrible. Something just was very off about that. And unrealistic. But the troubles are not over. A gas is being emitted to kill all the dinosaurs. Claire opens all the cages. Now she has to make the decision whether or not she's going to release the dinosaurs from the manor and out into the wilderness, aka out into civilization.
Claire, you press that button, there is no going back.
Why are they saying it like these dinosaurs are Pandora's box? People already know they exist. It's not like it's a big freaking secret. And last time I checked, they didn't have like special Thanos powers. So why would it be a concern? Oh, I forgot. Weapons don't work on these dinosaurs, unless the plot deems it so. As the dinosaurs are all dying, and everyone's crying because they're sad, they don't actually want this to happen. It's not the dinosaurs' fault. They made it from the eruption and from that awful island just to be forced against their will into these caves and shown off like they're pieces of flesh, which they are. But now they're dying of poison gas. It's an awful situation because now they're going to be entombed here. But suddenly, the door opens. They're free. Maisie opened it.
They're alive. Like me.
Really, bitch? Yeah, they're clones like you, but they're dinosaurs. Are you a dinosaur, Maisie? This is why they say people at a certain age don't have developed brains. That was bad writing. That was so freaking weird. Did they cook up this character just so she could have this part and release the dinosaurs and say, it's because they're clones like me? Give me a freaking break. Eli Mills tries to get away. So do all his workers, and the dinosaurs are free. As he tries to get the Indominus Rex's bone, the Carnotaurus goes after him in the background. But his day has come, and karma catches up with him. I'm sorry, how did he not see that T-Rex? Did it teleport to his location? Did it manifest into a puff of smoke before his very eyes? Is he deaf? Does it have the ability to camouflage as well? Does he not have peripheral vision? Were the writers high enough to add this in, thinking it would be a great dramatic scene, even though it makes no fucking sense? Was it hiding behind the SUV? Did they do this to subvert our expectations because we thought the Carnotaurus behind him was gonna be the one to kill him? Ay, 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 ay. What a stupid way to kill off that character. Would have been nicer if the Compsognathus behind him started biting the shit out of him and made him paralyzed, and then the Carnotaurus came upon him while he was paralyzed. Is this what movies are now for like the general audiences? Then somehow the Carnotaurus seeks to challenge the T-Rex fighting over the human when there are other dinosaurs much larger or the right size, like baby dinosaurs and smaller dinosaurs that you can easily pick off and have a bigger meal, but you charge at the thing that can easily kill you. Maybe Carnotauruses are just like really stupid or something, and they're the ravens of the dinosaur world, but I don't buy that for a second. I think we at least wanted to see one more dinosaur fight before this thing ended. And while I think it's cool to see a Carnotaurus try to square off with a Rex, the stupidity of the scene just ruins the immersion for me. Then one thing I cannot stand about what they did here, there was so much potential in this movie, but yet they had to call back so many times, like 65 to 75% of this movie is a callback to the first movie and some of the scenes from the other movies. In the most arcadey way possible, they do their last callback and try to end off the movie in a corny way when compared to how they ended the first movie. That's the scene we're talking about. It was so majestic, and even after all of this time, it still stands up. But now they tried to do a callback to that scene, and this is what they did. What the fuck, dude? Why did she spin like that? There was no reason to spin like that. She spun like that because she just threw a raptor and the momentum pushed her body around. You spun to be in that exact same position with the tail and the body to call back to the first one and roar. And the roar wasn't even that good. It was so muddied out. God damn it. How do you do a callback and pay homage to the first movie and still manage to fuck it up? That movie was made in what, the 90s? This movie was made very recently, and somehow the audio of the old movie is far more superior than that of the new movie. You can't even hear that shit. How do you drown out the T-Rex's roar? God damn it. You know, it's okay. It's just a movie. Owen says goodbye to Blue. How to Train Your Dragon, except it's How to Train Your Dromaeosaur. Lots of people around the world still have their dinosaurs they bought, and they will still be cloning them. Ian Malcolm does his Life Finds a Way speech. The Mosasaurus is now free in the ocean. The dinosaurs are free on the mainland, and Blue runs across the desert on her lonesome. And as much as I love Blue, for some reason, the CGI on this raptor in this movie is far worse than all of the other movies that came before it. For me personally, everything just looked unnatural. It looks like she was not part of her environment. And if you look back at the other raptors from the other Jurassic Park movies, they are lit in such a way that they look as though they are part of their environment. It looks like they are really there. It wasn't hard to believe that they were actually surrounded by a bunch of these velociraptors. They added the right amount of practical effects with CGI and made these masterpieces. And even though these weren't the best movies in the world, I still respect them for that. And somehow, every single one of them, in my opinion, don't take it as a personal attack on you guys, rank higher above the latest movie as of this video, which is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This just felt like a fever dream to me. I'm glad that we got to see a lot of dinosaurs, but the movie itself just seemed to be full of callbacks and nostalgia, but the kind that's not done the right way particularly. There's some things they got right in the movie, and I did enjoy a lot of it. It was also very aesthetically pleasing, but maybe it's the characters, maybe it's the writing, maybe it's the comedy. I wasn't as sad for the dinosaurs in these scenes, even though this poor Stegosaurus was crying, as I was for these dinosaurs in the Lost World Jurassic Park as they were getting captured. The use of the music, the caliber of the actors, and the dialogue all made it feel way more real and poignant than what they came up with in the Fallen Kingdom. As of this video, Dominion hasn't been out, but I hope that they can redeem that in Dominion. Granted, there were a lot of people who liked Fallen Kingdom. I still liked it because it had dinosaurs in it, not particularly because it was a great movie. But when I think about the movie that I want to go back and watch over and over again, it's not Fallen Kingdom. It's the first Jurassic Park, the second, and the third, and maybe the fight scenes of the fourth. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.